From your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics on KTAB.
All right, continuing our conversation with Mayor Williams. Mayor Williams, this issue about this leaked email keeps coming up. I've got another question. How can we trust City Council if someone on council leaked a privileged email?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know if it was a council member. I don't know if it was staff. But I can't tell you how really serious that is. And so I'm not sure how to answer that. Because I'm disappointed. It makes me very weary. We have a couple of significant opportunities that may be on the cusp in regards to economic development, and we're competing with sister cities. We want to be sure the information is privileged so we can close the deal. We're going to talk about streets, and we'll talk about water, Dallas Air Force Base. The most important issue is economic development and jobs. And we have a couple of very significant opportunities that I don't want to be compromised because we have a leak on the council. And so it is very, very serious.
All right, so should there be an investigation into how this email was leaked? Is there going to be an investigation?
Well, a couple of things that I've been thinking about. I am willing, and I have signed an affidavit saying it wasn't me. I think it's appropriate for each one of us to do so. Everyone who was involved says they didn't send it. I think it's very, very appropriate then to put pen to paper and say that.
So are you asking your other city council members to sign that same paper?
I am.
Okay. Would there be any ramifications for that person who did send it?
Well, certainly, the council manages the council through censorship. And certainly we would have an opportunity to revisit that. And so I want to be sure I misspoke. I've signed an affidavit, but our city attorney is the one who initiated that. Okay. Because it was his email. So he initiated. I supported that, but that is already underway. Alrighty.
Let's go to streets. And so you were already saying, we haven't had a question about streets yet. Of course, that is the #1 issue. Yes. It's no secret. There are some streets in disrepair in Abilene. Yes. The street maintenance fee comes into effect in January.
Yes.
Abilene residents voted for this.
Yes.
It's clear some people are still upset with this. What is your message to them?
Well, the truth of it is, for 30 years, we didn't address streets. We had 3 elections, 3 bonds. We had a bond in '98 for around $11 million, a bond in a bond in '05 for 19, and a bond in 15 for 45. Except for those 3 times, we've not addressed streets. In fact, even our maintenance, the last 30 years, we've never had more than $1 million for material for maintenance, most of the time around $700,000. This year, 3 different things happened. We have a plan for streets, a plan that will allow us to invest around $10 million a year for streets. This first year, we have $7.1 million for streets this year. Last year, it was less than $1 million. Additionally, we have about $6.75 million in street repairs underway, and we're in the design phase for another $19 million for streets. And so it'll take us a while to get there, but we have a plan for streets. Okay. And what I've said, for years, the council and staff have not done a good job taking care of streets. I made a commitment that there'll be no more can kicking, and we would address streets, and we're doing so. And so there's $6.75 million right now, street projects underway. In design phase, there's $19 million, and we're budgeting $7.1 million for repairs. Previous year was $700,000. I think that's very, very significant. In addition to that, we have an advisory committee of citizens, of our neighbors, who are working with staff to help us implement street maintenance. 3 on the north side, 3 on the south side, and then a chairperson.
Real quick, Lakeisha on Facebook says, will potholes legitimately be fixed the correct way instead of, she's calling them janky patches?
I'm not sure what a janky patch is, but some of our streets have so much separation that when you fill the pothole, it comes right back out. We had 12 inches of rain, almost 12 inches of rain in October, and what that did is create more potholes for us. And by the way, if a citizen calls 676-6045, That number goes direct to maintenance that will allow that pothole to be taken care of and reported, or email at reportapothole@abileneTX.gov. Both those provide an opportunity for potholes to be addressed in our community.
All right. We'll continue our conversation in just a few minutes. Big Country Politics is back in 2 minutes.